I mean, the Queen, she was an icon. She was like, it was unbelievable. Do you have a story? Do you have something to tell us that you can share
it's always
about
the greatest honour for a Prime Minister that, there you are on a Wednesday evening, you get in the car, you drive up the Mall, you go to Buckingham Palace, you walk through the door, you step over the corgis, trying not to wake them up, and there you are with the world's greatest public servant for an hour. No one in the meeting taking notes, there's just the two of you, and you
that?
talk
Was
about
every Wednesday?
every week, every Wednesday while Parliament was sitting.
Wow.
And it was just an enormous honour. The problem was always, though, that you realised as you were sitting there explaining, why the health service wasn't working properly or why the economy wasn't growing properly, you thought to yourself, I'm saying all these things. I'm her 12th Prime Minister. She started with Winston Churchill. She's literally heard every excuse in the book. What? Is there anything else I can say? And also her experience was extraordinary. So, you'd be saying, I've just met the President of this or the Prime Minister of that. And she'd sometimes sort of say, oh, yes, I remember, yes, the Iranians, yes, I remember going to stay in Iran before the Shah. And you think, oh, my God, I mean, the experience this person has got,
advice? Would she lecture? Would she?
No, she absolutely was very, understanding of the constitutional position, which is that the Queen, now the King, is our head of state. They're the formal part of the Constitution. They're a great unifying force for the country, the great focus for the world. But underneath that, the politicians are fighting it out and making decisions. I mean, I like our system. It works. It works well for us. Sad you guys, you gave up when we were on George III. One day, we're going to have a new George in town. Maybe you come back in. No, it's an enormous honour, and so she absolutely respects the sort of constitutional position. But you're very lucky as Prime Minister to have someone who'd visited over 100 countries, had 70 years of experience on the throne, who knew so much, to have that as someone who was listening and asking questions. And you always came out of the meeting, even if you hadn't actually solved any of the problems, you sort of came out thinking, I know better now than when I went in what I need to do. It was like so you were talking to this great public servant.
So she would talk to you in a way that you kind of worked through issues.
Well, it's sort of the way, trying to explain why something isn't working and how you're trying to fix it to someone who's been hearing these stories for 70 years and has had 11 prime ministers before you, is a pretty good form of therapy, I suppose.